Mr. Let's go on and have the conversation.
I've just asked you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
These are the three things I had to come to terms with before I finally filed for divorce. Coming to terms with the fact that I only had one life and that was it was really the start of when I knew I had to move on. It's the living on a floating rock for me. I don't know who said staying together for the kids was ever a smart or healthy idea, but that's probably the worst thing you could do for them. I feel like even though my kids are still pretty young, 6 and 8, I feel like I have traumatized them. I genuinely feel like they have no idea what a healthy marriage or healthy relationship looks like. I would never let my daughter settle for this type of life, so I didn't want to model that for her, and that was really big for me. About 3 years ago, I started to become numb to the things that I used to be so angry about. So I just noticed that everything that I used to care about, all the things that I used to love to do and who I was declining. I didn't know who I was anymore. And I just didn't like who I was becoming. It wasn't until this past year where I just kind of said, enough is enough. And I wanted to find myself again. Say 50% of marriages end in divorce, but I feel like it would be much higher if this was an actual easy thing to do. If you're still trying to find it in you to leave, give yourself some grace, because it took me 3 years to actually do it from the time when I knew it was already over.
She needs help.
99% of dating is failure. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I'm Haley. I'm a retired fuck girl, and this is dating advice, but like in a healthy way. The rule of dating is failure. The exception to the rule is finding your person. Most people have it the other way around in their head. But you failing at dating does not make you a failure. That actually makes you successful at dating. You're trying to find the one, right? The one. You're trying to find the 1%, which means 99% of the time, it will end poorly. This is not at all about hurting your feelings. This is about resilience, baby. This is about knowing that you are going to fail and having the courage to get up and stand up and try again. Making the switch in your mind to understand that dating is failure instead of dating is success changes everything, because eventually you will not fail, babe. You will find your person. You are resilient, and that's what's going to get you to this person. Learning to accept a no and learning to move through the no's as fast as you can is going to get you closer to your yes. Switching my mindset to accepting that dating is failing literally made me feel so empowered when I found a no.
Dating as a single mother sucks.
Oh, let's stop it right there.
I'm
because the audacity is at an all-time high. And it is strange to hear people talking like this. So she's basically saying you should go on as many dates as possible until you get one dude that's gonna basically do whatever you want him to do. That's what I heard from it. I don't know about you, Saul.
I heard that too. And, like I said before, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Attitudes don't change, bodies and age do. So you can go ahead and play that game if you want to, and somehow or another you're going to end up miserable, sad, either with a cat or whatever the case may be. Your grown children are going to not like you, and you're going to end up in somebody's nursing home. And that's been a tale told too often, And what they don't understand is when you create a dysfunctional sort of a dynamic, right?
Yeah.
And you have that sort of level of narcissism, your kids aren't going to love you. What alternatives are you going to go to? What alternative are you going to go to when you get older? When you have your kids who can't stand you, you know what I mean? So let them, make the bed they want to. People want the benefits of family and support and resources and stuff like that without the duties that come with it. It boils down to that. People are out here acting like grown-ass children.
Grown-ass kid. Jesus, that's just, I couldn't have said it any better, because how are you going to be upset because some dude said you're not my cup of tea? We hear it all the time. So it's like, okay, you can't deal with it. The simple rejection, it shouldn't upset you that much. And to be honest with you, women have lied to themselves for so long, they don't want to accept our terms anymore. They just believe everything's a Disney movie. Everything should be, oh, well, you need to have X amount of dollars just for me to, or a certain status just for me to go out with you or be with you or whatever the case. But at the same time, the new age feminism is about male domination. So they really don't even want that. I can say for previous women that I've tried to date, as soon as they find out where I work, I got an education, blah, 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 and they run. So they are looking for someone that is beneath them, not someone that can truly support and run a household. Just is what it is.
Yeah, you're most definitely right. Now, here's the tester I would always say when it comes to wifely duty or whatnot, right?
Right.
Are you, if you see that this person is willing to listen to their boss more or less than you, then obviously it tells you that there is some sort of split obligation, right? Okay, because you can go ahead and you can make that money in regards to would you say in regards to investing in a relationship, and we could develop a business together, right? But if somebody already has, in their mind that, their loyalty is with work or even white validation and things like that, and they don't invest the time and energy into the household and the vision that the household has to go, then, it's inherently a problem. I would tell my lady, like, hey, you work that job. That job is, more or less a stone for you to do what you ultimately want to do when we pool this money together so that we can more or less go and buy property, and you can be financially independent, and we won't have to report in to people at work. No, they don't do that, because they're already hardwired with other crap, like, your man is somehow or another eventually is going to turn crazy and abusive. So keep money on the side and have him spend money in. Just totally sort of selfish stuff. And you essentially have two individuals operating on their own sort of strategies rather than the collective strategy to benefit the household. And that's what we have here.
And it's like when I meet them, they don't really like me because I'm kind of sarcastic, right? So when I talk to them, I just have normal conversations with them. But when they start getting all smart mouthed and all that old shit, right? First thing I say is, okay, well, do you talk to your boss like that?
Exactly.
If you don't, if they say no, I say, well, if you don't talk to him like that, why the fuck you think you're gonna talk to me like that?
100%.
And usually I don't get another conversation after that. You know what I'm saying? It's usually over after that point because everything starts to make sense. But they gotta support you. Make sure you subscribe to my Instagram page. See, like this is me right here. This is my woman right here. And she just in here posting links. She ain't saying too much. She ain't doing nothing. She just supporting. You don't find that too often, right? And she's a good woman. She ain't the richest woman, but she's a good woman. And she ain't from here. That's another thing. And they get mad about things like that. And it's a shame that we had to sit here and have these conversations about things like this because they've actually let the government get in to what we do. I had to get custody of my daughter. I had to raise my daughter because every last time I tried to go get my daughter when she was younger, right? Her mom would act a fool and she ended up going to jail. So, I mean, I'm not gonna make it seem like I've been an angel all my life, right? I got my fair share of fuck ups, but it started when they started letting the government get in our business. The government started catering to them and taking care of them and just, spoiling them. So they feel like they can rely on the government for everything. But if you notice, they're steady more empowering. They're empowering the feminists, but slowly snatching away their rights. You see, they're snatching away IVF. You see what they did with that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can be a feminist all you want to, but some of the things that you hold dear to your heart that's going to keep you in your position of power is being taken away slowly but surely. First, they overturned Roe versus Wade. Now it's kind of jacked up because if something happened to you that you didn't want to happen to you, I can't really say the word, grape or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or if something medically is not right with the fetus or whatever, you should be able to, make that decision. But with IVF, that was a major blow because now they're basically saying, okay, if you freeze this embryo and you try to destroy it, we can charge you with wrongful death.
See,
they ain't gonna like that. So instead of just keeping your legs closed, I don't know what to say about it. Tell you the truth.
and that's the whole thing. All this, it all boils down to choices when you think about it, right? Men, we experience the full penalty or benefits of our choices. So it's almost like, when it comes to children are shielded from their choices because it's like, hey, you made a mistake. It shouldn't, you shouldn't get the full brunt of the punishment based on your choices. But when you really, really see the way the judicial system, the way society at a large, behaves with women, they make their bad choices, and there's that covering that they have that children have, right? But they have the full sort of choices that adult men do. So here it is once again, that sort of hybrid model. I get the benefit of being independent and making 100% full choices that adult men do, but I don't have all of the same punishments or blowback that any man does. Right. That's essentially it boils down to that, and of course they've become so brazen and disrespectful with the system that people are more or less rolling it back, and it's actually a good thing because it undermines. Actually, believe it or not, whether people want to say it or not, it actually undermines our society and democracy at large.
Boom.
I'm not gonna have in this system.
Yes.
Yeah, how am I gonna have faith in this system, right? If I bust my ass and I'm a veteran, right? And I don't even have the same rights as somebody who's sitting here talking dog shit about me.
Machismo,
Who ain't risked their hide.
you can clip this to death, Machismo. You got the green light, bro. Yeah, no, Saul, you're right. You are exactly right. It's causing people to do what my guy Los D did. And let's get up out of here and go to Colombia. So salute to Los. Make sure you subscribe to Learn Crypto TV. Everybody's got that same mindset. Get on up out of here. You just got to do what's best for you and your mindset. And I was explaining this to someone the other day, and they were just trying to understand why men are going overseas. Because technically, I don't have a lot of travel experience, so I won't claim the Monica passport, bro, until I get more travel experience. Then maybe somebody can talk to that, right? But for those that do, and they do get over there and they meet women that they like or whatever, they're asking me why do they do that, and I'm showing them clips like this, and the Fannie Mae, Jesus Christ, I keep calling her Fannie Mae, Fannie Willis, right? I keep calling her Fannie Mae, right? Fannie Mae, the Fannie Willis clip that I played at the beginning of the video, right? Talking about, man, ain't no man, I don't need no man, do this, do that. I said, this is what we got to deal with. Can you see yourself dealing with that for 18 years? No. Run. Go get on up out of here. Because it's rough, man. And they don't understand that you can't make decisions without consequences. There are always going to be a downside to everything, and everything that it looked like they're going into their favor. Like we slick got a feminist running for president right now, Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
Right? And she's going around telling people that slavery didn't exist. Like, what? How do you think you're gonna get in the office? You just lost all the people of color vote right there.
Well, people beyond that, I'm gonna just tell you what people are doing. People are doing that stuff to just say whatever the case may be. And I say, as a black man, to be politically agnostic, right?
Yeah.
Because no side is the best side. That's the truth, right? So you got to look at it from a politically agnostic standpoint and look at policy, right? What policy is going to be beneficial to me most? Now, on one side, you got weirdos, you got the generation, you got what I'm saying, people who are opening up borders and things like that, right? And you got people who are sitting down eating chicken with black men. I don't know if you've seen that, eating chicken.
I saw it. I saw watching the video.
Yes. Yeah. So on the other side, you have people, using rhetoric, which you just said. So at this point, I say, look beyond the surface and actually look at policy. And then on the other side, you got people who are like, you know what? Hey, you don't want any of this so crazy stuff going on. Like, look, bottom line, you know what? This is how I feel. And you feel how you feel. I'd rather somebody be honest and actually show me where their cards are, right? Than somebody sit up and say, Black Lives Matter, and sit up here and actually take all the money from them families and stuff like that. At least let me know how you feel. You know what I mean? Now, okay, we in the country, and you want to act stupid like that. Hey, you got the same rights as I do. And I'm going to just say that much. We all got them same rights. You know what I mean? To protect ourselves and dominion. So, people can say ignorance all the hell they want. But, when you look at the policy, because, here's the thing. I'd rather somebody show me where their cards are than, the 8 hours a day I leave my children at your school. You actually embedding them with stuff that them question who they are and what they were born with.
Yes.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. I done seen, man, oh my God. I know it's hard for parents nowadays because of the underlying, dude. Okay, first off, I used to tell people this, and they used to get mad at me, especially single mothers that let the kids watch SpongeBob. Because I'm like, what the address to SpongeBob Island was? They'd be like, no. I'd be like, okay, well, Google it. And they'd look it up. Then I'd say, do you know what the address to Jeffrey Epstein Island was? They'd be like, no. I tell them, look it up. It's the same address.
Are you serious?
Look it up. I ain't lying. Look it up.
I'm curious now.
Look up what SpongeBob address is. Then look up what's the address to Epstein Island.
Oh, they trying to. I see now they already.
Tell me, is it jacked up? How long it's been jacked up? What kind of games y'all playing with our children? So that just tells you, if you got kids that have been watching SpongeBob all this time, they've been pumping messages subconsciously into these kids' mind. Why do you think so many of them are jacked up today?
Yeah. When they dye their hair and they wear them buttons and stuff like that, ask no questions because you expose your children. This is what you voted in. You see what I'm saying? And see, here's the thing. These folks, they played the long game. What they did was, they said, okay, well, we're not about to argue with you because we already know y'all ain't down with this whole agenda here. What we gonna do is we gonna go after your children, and those children is gonna vote and support us, and we gonna have them all confused as much as a Tasmanian devil. You know what I mean? We gonna spin that head around as much as a washing spin cycle when it comes to that mind. We're gonna put it right in the blender, and by the time it comes out, it's not gonna be any way recognizable than what you had, because the home is a place of acculturation where there's structure and there's obviously information transferred to where there's these protective factors out there in the real world. The family is the most basic unit of society. Right. So if I want to tear down society and place it in a level of anarchy, what am I going to do? I'm going to attack the family one way or another. And I'm going to undermine the parents and their ability to provide those protective factors. I mean, you got laws out there in certain states. If you obstruct the child's their identity, you basically are committing neglect or child abuse. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on now. Now if the child is at a certain age and they have a certain wherewithal and they become an adult and they want to make their own choices, go ahead, do what you do. I don't see how when people sleep with whoever sleep with get more benefits and attention. People who are disabled, people who are veterans. I mean, there's a lot of protected classes out there, but it seems like it's a theme of the day. But hey, it seems like things have run its course. And, people are utterly tired of all this crap.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm with whoever has the best policy, because for one, we got to do something about this financial system. It is in ruins. We don't know what's going on. If you look at the U.S. debt clock, man, the debt clock, man, is so jacked up, man. You're just like, how are we still even operating as a business? Because we're in a country with business. How are we even still in operations, right? Second off, what's going on with the dollar? It's getting to the point where we're about to lose all power that our country has, and it's like no one cares. Then second off, inside of the country, it's like we got a bunch of lunatics running the asylum, and it's not working. It's evidently not working. So we got people who I feel will have great policies that come in, but do we really want them to be the president though? What do you think about that, Saul?
Like I said, I would say look at academic journal articles, look at Wall Street, get yourself acquainted with policy analysis, look
Mm-hmm.
at things such as like econometrics and things like that. Also look at other countries and the indexes for democracy. Look at whether or not it's it's stable. And to be honest with you, it may be the jig may be up. You know what I mean? And so they say that brothers are the canary in the coal mine. So I think that there's a reason why we're saying, hey, it's about time for that.
Yeah.
Time to go. Whether it's due to financial reasons, whether it's due to societal degradation, whether it's due to anything else that's out there. I mean, we just got to call it what it is at this point. Even Great Rome, had its time. All these places have a expiration date. Nobody's gonna be champion 100% of the time. That's just what it is.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Let's check out a little bit more of this video. Then I'm gonna close it out because
100%.
my illusion still going on with it.
Oh, you still your mic is good.
Oh, okay.
Constantly canceling on my dates. And it's because sometimes I can't count on her dad to show up on his days. And they love to say, just bring the baby. No, the baby cannot come. No, you can't meet the baby. The baby has to stay home. They also don't understand why you don't have a lot of time, why you can't hang out with them all the time, why you can't text them back, why you can't call them, and why they can't come to your home. It starts to get really weird too. Like they start to get jealous of my child and they're like, I don't know why I'm not a priority to you. And because you're not. My child is. You're not my child. I have one. Last, I'm already a single mom and my patience is like 0. And any little stunt that he tries to pull or like any little miscommunication, you're out. I have no mercy, no grace. I don't have time for bullshit. I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. So
can someone please explain that back in the day when I was like a solid 3, guys wanted to date me. And now that I'm like less of a 3 and more of like a 6, like they just want to use me. But like, why? I used to have guys always wanting to date me when I was ugly. Now that I'm less ugly, not a single one. I get into a situationship and they go, sorry, I'm just not looking for something serious. Like, why? Like, do I have to go back to being ugly again to get a boyfriend, or what's the problem here? I don't get it.
Oh my God. First off, baby girl brain. I never known that the number 6 was less than the number 3.
Uh, some of these people just be talking, like I said, attention is currency, and
Yeah.
a lot of us we probably like you start some sort of I like to call a information blockade, not even giving them no attention, because without attention they wouldn't be propped up into the pedestals that they have. I mean, you have a single mom. I mean, what are we talking about here? Okay, right?
Yeah.
What here's the thing: you prioritize the baby over a family. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, you go ahead and you make sure you take care of that baby, you there for that baby, you do everything that has to do with that baby, and you don't need to be out here dating. You don't, just plain and simple. All these conditions and requirements and this, that, and that for you to even you got to think, one, there's the risk of a false accusation. Okay. Two, there's resources that that are expected of you, that of somebody else's seed, right? And then you don't even have the sort of full wherewithal to make the decisions that you need to make in regards to discipline and structure in your house. So this is the type of person who just simply wants resources, and whether it's sexual resources or monetary resources. Once again, I call it the a la carte or the piecemeal effect, right? When you it's like going to a restaurant, right? And I want McDonald's fries, and I want maybe Carl's Jr. burger, and I want to going to all these different restaurants and all these different things. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of understanding that like, hey, with all those different places that you're going, there's a cost to you with time and resources, ultimately. And that's there's a cost to her soul, cost to her being, due to selfishness. So people are going to see that, and they're not going to take that deal. And she could say what she want to say on the internet all she want. 9 times out of 10, this is going to be a person who is just going to be relegated to I hate to say it like this, but Pound Town. That's all you good for at this point. You know what I mean?
Especially talking like that. That's not gonna win you no brownie points. Not with me.
No, not at all.
Maybe some sucker, but you talking about I don't play that, and it's just man, who
like okay. She got choices. Like she really got choices.
I mean, you already made the error of dating some idiot or sleeping with some idiot that don't even know how to take care of his own kid. He won't even come get his own baby. I mean, that tells me what kind of choices you make off the rip. I don't even need to go any further than that. It's like, okay, then I can't even get past that. So only thing I can do is think Pound Town. If that, the way your mouth structured, you probably won't even get that. I'd be scared you're gonna file on me. So
exactly.
Nope.
The risk. I mean, there's a pretty face. Okay, what am I risking? My career and reputation, because you got a child, right? You more than likely will weaponize that child against me, to some sort of benefit, right? Or some control or power dynamics. And then, you can always say, oh, I ain't got time, this, that, and the other. And let's not forget the other added issue, right? The baby daddy. Whether or not people want to say it or not, outwardly, it's more or less an open secret that they go and they always continue, effing them. You know what I'm saying? Continue effing them. Oh, I know you gave so many dollars for child support. I'll do a little something strange for some change, a little something extra. I'm serious. Or don't even take that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so why even no? Once you have this child, right? I'm of the orientation that you don't need to be dating no more. You know what I mean? What happened with the family origin that you had?
They ain't want it. Now they'll take the baby before they take the family. That's the jacked up thing about it.
But it's not even about the baby. Yes, indeed. The baby has more to do with power and control in money and resources. If the woman could have, if that woman could have reverse not having the baby and just having the money, they would do it all day. The only reason why they had, if they would not get the money out of having them children, I'm willing to bet there will be a lot of children out there either abandoned or deleted. It sounds horrible, but I'm willing to bet that.
And what they're risking nowadays by just wanting to be such a male-dominated society is to lose the covenant and protection that they got, that the men built for them. It's like they don't understand it. You're going to have I seen an article the other day where they was talking about there are more single men now than ever, right? So now you have a generation of single men out here that are just sexless, right? Relationshipless, and they're just in the house doing nothing. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for women because you know.
I doubt that. I would say it depends on demographic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. When they say that, I've heard that talking point thrown around or whatever the case may be. In more mainstream circles, I hate to say this. I'm gonna just be real with you.
Yeah.
That problem, and you might have a lot of single brothers, but brothers,
we ain't doing that.
we ain't got that problem.
No,
That
right.
that might be more the mainstream kind of Brad or whatever. If anything, we got a problem with being over sexualized.
Yeah.
And this is why there's an issue with the quote unquote passport bros to begin with, because we have those options.
Right.
I think the issue, I mean, yes, you are right that there is a lot of single men, but we have the mobility and agility to exercise options such as what I like to call the modern day manumission papers. You know what that is? Not only is it a passport, but it's also getting the business incorporated. You know what I mean?
The modern day
manumission papers.
Manumission papers.
Yeah, your freedom papers, basically. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Because here's the thing: you get a business, you incorporate. I mean, because think, what is it? These jewelry stores, these holiday seasons and stuff like that, they're becoming more expansive. They're looking for men to continue to spend their money. But who do we spend money on? Think about it. New Year's. Oh, that New Year's kiss. Women, right? You go from New Year's to Valentine's Day, right? From Valentine's Day to St. Patrick's Day, right? From St. Patrick's Day on to Mother's Day. Are you following me? And then it's summer vacation time. More you spending on women, right? And then the fall creeps in, right? Fall creeps in. You might got a little hiatus, but all that stuff is going to be prepared for the holiday season. But one can argue, guess what? Halloween. What is Halloween for? Halloween is an excuse for ladies to do the whoredom stuff that they would otherwise do in private, right?
Right.
Okay. And then you ride on into, Thanksgiving, Christmas, this, that, and the third. Once again, it's over and over and over. Men spend your money. Men spend your money. So if you're single, guess what? Guess what you're not doing? You're not spending your money, which increases the likelihood of business ownership, property ownership, without it being split. So I'm willing to bet that there's going to be a lot of men who's going to increase their wealth. And you see a lot of these ladies out here with these, hey, big head, and I apologize to black men and all this other crap. Guess what? They're being resourceless. So is it necessarily a bad thing? I wanted to politely give a counter just to consider.
Yeah, no, you're right though, and that's the same reason why Davis Bridal went out of business. Because people aren't getting married, so these bridal shops are shutting down.
100%. These bridal shops are shutting down. You're starting to see these hotels and stuff that has these weddings and stuff like that. They're starting to shut down, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because think, ladies, in regards to, let's say, resources, right? When you're at home with your family, let's say you come from a good or decent family, right? You have an allowance, right?
Right.
Okay. When you go to college, you get that car, you get that apartment, right?
Right.
You get that car, that apartment, that you know maybe your family of origin helps with or pay for, right?
Right.
And then you got to juxtapose that with, oh, I'm gonna save all this money and then I'm gonna go on dates. Are you following me here? Right?
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, and then let's take it even further. Okay, so by the time you start off your career and you're a young lady, for the most part, you got a little nest egg. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Listen.
Yeah, either you have a nest egg or you didn't, would you say a material girl in the material world and you have to keep up heirs or whatever the case may be. So
You got to keep up.
they're so used to getting money, right? Okay. Now you got guys waking up saying, oh no, we cutting this off. Because think about it, when you that young man, even if you did go to college, you go to trade school, whatever the case may be, are you going to get that car? Are you going to get an allowance? Are you going to get an apartment paid for? No, and no, right? So guess what? By virtue of earnesty, determination, and brothers being diligent, right? We are already used to these conditions. We're already used to getting it out of the mud, and so
I was going to say that. Yes,
we're already used to that, right? So
Yes.
guess what? All this world is falling beyond them. No more corporate stuff. No more, scholarships, no more handouts, not even from the families of origin, right? But the attitude is staying the same, right? And so now they're as their world is crashing down, you have guys for the first time in their lives investing in themselves, saying, man, I ain't paying for no dates. I'm having standards. I'm not a resource. I'm not expendable. And guess what's happening? They're like, man, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to travel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to enjoy myself. You see what I'm saying? What is the benefit of marriage if I'm going to end up, by the time this person goes to college or gets a trade and this, that, and the other, they get married, they love the ceremony, they bride to their girlfriends, it looks nice. 2 or 3 years later, I don't want to be married anymore. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what happens again? They get a handout once again, you know what I mean, from the system because they learned it from the parents and stuff like that. It's a all around hustle. It's an all around hustle.
Saving during the marriage on slick on the side, the other bank account in their mama name or their friend name or something.
Are you following me? Yeah, you see where I'm coming from. So I feel like this. So is men being single necessarily a bad thing? Because you know what's going to happen? We're going to create our own economy. We're going to, support each other's businesses, right? And we're going to do our own thing. And guess what? With a lot of ladies out there looking for that handout, guess where they're going to try to hover around and circle around or whatever the case may be? Those brothers who are single with resources. And guess what? We're going to have the pickings. And the show not going to be any damn baby mama. So that delusional stuff there, you know what I mean? Guess what? I got a 24 to about a 35 requirement, no kids, feminine, fit, and obviously with some level of grace, preferably black with a fat ass. And guess what? Hopefully you don't have that Western wiring. So where would I get all those? 9 times out of 10.
Not here.
Exactly, Mom.
Not here.
And you see.
You might can find the demographic, but the wiring is gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? You might can find all of the curvature and do all these other things, but the wiring it's gonna not be. It ain't gonna be made in China. It's gonna be made in California.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And guess what? This is why there's a sort of next logical iteration. Why do it here? What is the game here? Since there's no game, guess what? Let me go ahead. Let me get this here blue book, and we just gonna call it a damn day.
And it's wild that the women are actually out here trying to follow the men to these other countries and act like they're Brazilian or they're Dominican or that they're Colombian. It is like I was on a live talking about this last night, and it's crazy that they are trying to see like, okay, let's go see what they going so crazy about, and then they get there and they're like, oh, okay, you know,
You say, oh,
oh,
how they see
maybe,
that long silky hair? They see that
oh,
fat.
you know, because
Oh,
I was talking to this Filipino last night. Her name's Lily. I was talking to her, and we were just talking about hair because, you know, like black people hair is different. You know, we got people that got great textures of hair, but the majority of us, we got that, you know what I'm saying, spongy type
yeah.
hair, right? And I was just talking about that, and I was like, you know, a woman can get that if she ain't got it, but she gonna pay for it. And I was just explaining to her how the 666 mentality works and why they want this, because they have a lifestyle that they want to keep up, and it ain't even for attracting men, it's to compete with other women. And it's still mind-blowing to a lot of people from a lot of different cultures who don't understand just why are you doing all that. It don't make sense, but they just would like clarifications on why we're leaving, why we're doing this. Like, is it really that bad? Like Austin, like, yeah, it really is. It really is. Like, you just have to see it for yourself in person. And then here in Nashville, we got this on Instagram, we got this page called Scoop, right?
Hmm.
If you get caught up, you're gonna end up on Scoop. Anything you do, any kind of case you catch in this major, you're gonna be on Scoop. So I got a picture of something that I said because Lily, she's married to a black guy, right? A guy named Frank. And Frank was telling her about this. So I showed her that picture right there.
Oh,
So
wow.
you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is a girl that was fighting her girlfriend.
I was
Girlfriend
fighting a girlfriend.
put her out the house. Look at her hair though. This is what she
Yeah.
was asking about the hair, and I explained to him how they braid the hair and put the cap on, the stocking cap, and then put the wig on top of it. And she was kind of confused until I sent that picture, because you could see the big thing of glue right there, and it's like she's like, "Oh wow!" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what that is." And it's like they so lazy they don't even want to do their own hair. How they gonna take care of a man? I'd be damn. Like when I was younger, I ain't the most, like I said, I done had my fair share of mess ups, right? But I rebuilt myself and rebuilt my character and my whole thing to where I'd be damn if I let another person come in here and fuck it up. Before you can even get access to it, you got to show me. You got to show me. And you're going to go through some hard tests because I ain't no simp. Now, once you can prove that you are good, then we can talk. Then we can start the process. But you got to show me. And that's what they don't want to do. They don't want to show nothing. They just want you to just open the gates. And I'm like, nah, baby, you're going to have to sit out there a while. You know what I'm saying?
So that is a good question to kind of pose. Have brothers, you know, and this is our brothers within ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have we not done enough to spread the word about the vetting process?
I don't think so. I think
Vetting and screening.
I think what we see is the imagery. We see a lot of women, fine women, right? And we shoot for it. The same thing we used to do here. We'd see a Vivica Fox or back in the day. I'm trying to think of some more vixens. We used to see her and be like, yeah, she bad. Not knowing they'd be jacked up mentally. It's the vetting process that's important, right? I need to know what your mind is like. All right, cool. You look damn good, baby. But do you know how to cook a steak medium rare? Right? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? What do what level of education do you have? Right? Now, you don't have to have a master's degree, a PhD, all that, but associate degree will do for me. I got 2 of them. But do you have the wherewithal to do certain things that are required for you? If, let's say, they meet someone like a Saul, and Saul has an up and coming YouTube channel, and I need someone to help me manage my schedule so I can do this and do that. On top of, if I got a job, do that, help me learn at the same time when I'm not doing my YouTube, you get on YouTube, find resources that'll help me better myself. Can you do all that? Are you willing to do that, or you just want to sit here and look like a showpiece?
You mind holding for a quick second? Somebody's outside of my house, and
Go ahead. And while we wait for Saul, I'm gonna pull up this video of this lady explaining what feminism used to be. All right, here we go. Let me share my screen.
I apologize for that, but I'm here for the clip.
All good, all good.
Equality, about leveling the play. I was a feminist when feminism was about equality, about leveling the playing field, giving women an opportunity to find their rightful place, particularly in the public world, which was tremendously important and exciting when we achieved that. But what feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonization of males, presenting them always at a disadvantage. And I don't want to have any part of that. I was writing recently about boys' education for many decades, and I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. I mean, we'd had 10 years of programs trying to help girls do better in schools, which is fantastic. And a lot of girls who had been held back by traditional assumptions about, girls not speaking up and girls not doing well in maths were now beginning to shine, which is a fantastic thing. But what was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems, systematic programs to continue to advantage girls, and no one taking any notice of the fact that boys are falling out in huge numbers. I was a feminist when feminism was about.
Now, I don't know if you noticed the accent, but that's where feminism started, over there, in their part of the world. And then it slowly crept on over here with us, slowly. And it has now become a phenomenon that is like a parasite. And it's just eating away at everything. Even the original feminists don't want to have nothing to do with the modern day feminists. And it's sad because they've literally destroyed the whole idea that they fought for. Horrible.
Well, I say this much, feminism, her brand of it, okay, most guys are like, hey, all right, if you want to be part of a meritocracy and you can hold your own, then we fine with it. Ain't no, I'm gonna call off work whenever, I'm feeling like I have a headache, and you don't contribute as much to the team, but you get all the benefits and the bonuses that everybody else do. And, people are going to just, handle you with, the velvet gloves and stuff like that. Right.
Right.
But, she's seeing it or whatever the case may be. And one has to ask the question nowadays, is feminism more or less about female supremacy than it is, actually, evening the playing field? Because, you still want people paying for the mortgage. You still want people to wake up in the middle of the night when things go bump in the night, right? You still want people to pay for dates and this, that, and the third. But when it actually comes to, the other stuff, you want to be a woman. You know what I mean? You want to be the head CEO of a company, right? So I mean, it ain't nothing but games, and people are seeing the double speak, and it's coming to a head, and in the next 10, 15 years, it'll be interesting to see where this is all goes. Corporate America is already pulling the plug. You've seen these universities are pulling the plug against some of these folks who are in these institutions. Indoctrinating people with this. So I mean, it is what it is at this point. I just sit back and enjoy the show and watch it all burn down, because this is the would you say, the reality they wanted. This is what they wanted, right?
This is what they wanted, and it's going to be a hard crash when they get it, because now, since you're complaining and saying it's like you only want it to be fair when it comes to certain things you want, but you don't want to get out here and get on the oil rig, right? You don't want to get out here and change the pipes, help build the infrastructure of the world. You just want to say, okay, I make as much as you, man. Pay me, right? That's all you really want. You don't want the full benefit of equality. You just want certain aspects of it. And that's what's messed up about the modern day feminists, because they don't really want true equality. They just want to act like spoiled little kids. And this is the perfect example why you don't spoil your kids, because of stuff like that.
Yeah, do they register for selective service?
Hell no, they ain't doing that. You should. You want equality. You want 50-50, right? Shit, I had to. Why can't you? You want everything 50-50. Go on down.
To be able to vote, you have to register for selective service, and if you were in college and you received federal financial aid, you have to register for selective service.
The women do?
No, the men do.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm wondering whether or not you change your gender from female to male, whether or not you got to register for selective service. I'm wondering whether or not they got to do that.
Let you not register for the selective service and watch you get that. You know what I'm saying? you better.
Somebody with some black suits and black glasses on, right?
Excuse me, sir. Can we talk to you for a second? Can we come in? Oh man, yeah. I don't like that. I done seen too much of that in my lifetime. I know where that leads. All right. I'll be back, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Call the lawyer. So yeah, I don't think women have to do that. But you want equality. I read something. It was an article talking about they were going to make them do it. Now, I don't know how true it's going to be, but I know that if it happens, a lot of women going to be in trouble. I can see a lot of bonnet wearing people on the front lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I say feminism nowadays is the modern way to have ugly women or non-desirable women
wiped off the planet.
Yeah. Well, not that. Be it fat, non-select when it comes to personal features,
Yeah.
low budget and broke and toxic, to police men in the political public square. These are people who were socially inept in high school, and all of a sudden they have a mic. It's nothing. It's a currency of perpetual victimhood. And usually, when a party is aggrieved ever in any society, there is, some sort of clear expectations of reconciliation, right? And so, the United States, they say, okay, civil rights in 1964, affirmative action, which was actually supposed to go to Black men in particular, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we reconciled that, right? Guess what? Affirmative action is done, which also includes gender. You know what I mean? You start to see all these DEI programs shut down, and people are like, hey, we reconciled that. And people are just trying to keep this perpetual victimhood going, and it's done. It is done. It's done.
Man, I just don't think they know what they've gotten themselves into, and they're gonna find out the hard way. We've been on here almost 2 hours, Saul. I appreciate you joining, man.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Man, no, anytime, man. Anytime you want to join, let me know. I'm on here once a week.
We'll do. We usually do the Sunday night lives and stuff like that. We'll drop the link if you ever want to come up.
Okay.
But we try to do icons on our page because we don't want people
know what you look like.
well, what they do is they'll take a picture of you and they'll put it on Google and look you up, search you.
Go ahead. I want you to look me up. So when you go and get the name, I want these diplomas right here so you can run that background check, and then when you find what you find, you know not to fuck with me. I don't care nothing about none of that. I use this name on here for a reason. It ain't my real name, but run the real name and yeah.
They say this is the wrong one.
We ain't gonna fuck with him. Leave him alone. The felony sits on there for a reason. And shit like that. So yeah, I don't give a fuck. As long I use the fake name for my job because they do social media checks.
Yeah.
But I'm on LinkedIn under the real one, so you can go look me up over there. That's because I get the searches. I can show you, man, you appeared on a search. I'm like, damn, again? So yeah, take the picture, run it, and then understand. You might want to go to another channel. Yep.
I hear that.
All right. Thank you, brother, man. I really, really appreciate it. That means the world to me, man. Y'all join, man. And Machismo TV, you want to clip it to death. It's all to the good. Anything you want to clip of mine, you got it. It's all good. Y'all make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to Machismo TV, late nights, damn ID channel, damn all that. Watch Machismo TV. Go over there. We need to support our own. Support Black male media. Subscribe to Salty Balls. Make sure that you guys are supporting each other because that's what this is about. That's what my channel is about. I want to be a part of something bigger, and I'm trying to build a conglomerate over here to where everybody can support each other and we all eat. So thank you again, Saul.
Thank you, brother.
Stefano. All right. See you.
All right. I see you, brother.